for not just the security, not just the returns on investment as well. Some also because of the ability for them to be able to network. Imagine, for instance, in a place whereby it's an eyebrow location. Let me take Ikoyi, for instance. I'm in Ikoyi, for instance, and I'm taking a jog in the morning in a highbrow location, maybe like Banana Island, for instance. Trust me, the next person jogging with me or behind me or in front of me is not a pauper. They are all high net worth individuals who also want to keep fit. You don't see that in a rural community that everybody is trying to hustle and bustle. Now, these ones are not trying to hustle and bustle. They have already finished the hustle. They have people continue the hustle for them. They are just here to just come and enjoy that soft life rather. And some, of course, are also here to also connect with the woos and the woos of the society. So, in terms of locations like that, investing there, you should be talking about buying your property in billions. Okay, so is it that you are buying your property like $1 million?
So what you mean
5
billions?
billion?
Do you mean
Just be thinking of billions. Although there are still some property like maybe 3 bedroom, like maybe but they are very, you hardly see more of 3 bedroom for sales in those locations because a lot of them actually they believe that a lot of people coming there are coming with a family. So you see more of 4 bedroom and maybe very minimum 2-3 bedroom that you would see. There are not many of that available. So such you see them for like maybe or maybe the ones that, or of course they are semi-detached as well. You can see for 800 million. Okay, you can see for 800 million. You can see for 900 million. And trust me, a house you buy for that amount of money, you should be expecting appreciation far more than that in a couple of years. As far back as 2015, 2014, houses in this same estate you will see for 350 million. You see some for 400 million. But those houses that used to be for 400, even the one for 600 million, are now sold over 2 billion today. They're worth over 2 billion naira today. Yes, that's how amazing. So let's leave Ikoyi now. There are still some other axes like, okay, Lekki Phase 1, we have Victoria Highland. So you still find houses in those locations for about maybe 600 million as well. So sometimes I tell people that if I would see a house in Banana Island for 600 million, even if it's 3 bedroom, and I'm seeing another one in VHI for 600 million, I'd rather prefer to live in Ikoyi because Ikoyi kind of is like the heart of this island. So it's more like a connecting dot for the island, and you have more high net worth individuals.
Individuals.
In Ikoyi, yes. So your budget, when it comes to budget, when it depends on the location, also in Lagos. So if you have you see sometimes it's funny, some people come and say, all I have is 100 million naira, all I have is 70 million, and I want to live in Ikoyi. My brother, my sister, it's not possible. So Nigerians in diaspora kind of have this mindset that because it's Nigeria, everything should be, houses should be affordable. It should be, yes, I can decide to live in Banana Island and have 80 million and I want to live in Banana Island. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If you have 100 million, you can only afford you maybe 2 or 3 bedroom in some places like maybe Ikate, for instance. That's where it can afford you to live in. If you want a 2 bedroom in even Lekki Phase 1, you should have a budget of maybe 150 million, 170 million. Now, if you are that individual who says, okay, you know what, I want my family, I want to have my compound to myself, then you now need to know that you need to go further. So this is what some Nigerians in diaspora do not understand. They say, no. I want Lekki Phase 1. No, I want Ikoyi, and this is my budget. It can't work. Like I explained earlier, if you have a very slim budget you can decide to buy maybe you want a 4 bedroom, for instance. I remember someone saying she wants a 4 bedroom and her budget was 150 million. She wants in the heart of Lekki Phase 1. wants to be the only one in the compound. It's not possible. You can't have that. But if you want to go from the closer, the farther your location is to the industrial places in Lagos, the cheaper it is. But the closer it is to the heart of Lagos itself, like Lekki Phase 1 Ikoyi, the more expensive the properties are. So if you know you still are intending to want the Lekki Phase 1, all you need to do is carry your money, buy your 2-bedroom, put your 2-bedroom to either use it for short lets or use it for rental income. Now, the money you are making every year from that rental income. Now, we have a property we are selling in Shongotedo, for instance, a 3-bedroom property with a self-contained BQ. The rental income of that 3-bedroom is 4.5 million in Shongotedo. But if you have a property in the heart of Lekki Phase 1, just a 2-bedroom, the minimum the rent can go is between 10 million and 15 million. That's the minimum. You can see the difference. Of course, the property in Shongotedo is cheaper than the property in the heart of Lekki Phase 1. So if you now want a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom for yourself, you can decide, okay, let me buy this and turn it into a rental income. I'm collecting yearly rent. After 10 years, I can decide to flip the money with the other money I've saved, now buy the mansion, or of course, buy in Banana Island. Or another thing you can do, which we actually is apply for mortgage. Okay, so with you applying for mortgage, for instance, you can stay in the location you want. So all we need to see is do you qualify for the mortgage? The minimum financial institution we work with on mortgage, the minimum you can actually earn as a salary earner is 1 million naira. So a lot of Nigerians in diaspora in terms of their monthly income. All we just need is your pay slip. We need to know your remaining active years in service, because this is also important to us. And you must have about 10 or 20% of that particular amount of the total amount of property you want to actually buy. And that way, you bought the property and you are paying back, depending on your agreement with the financial institution. You are paying back every month or every 3 months, quarterly, or every year, depending on your arrangements, like I said, with them. So that way, instead of me paying, maybe if the property is 350 million now, instead of me paying higher in the next 3 years, I have, just by having 35 million, I've been able to, or 70 million, I've been able to key a property of 350 million naira down. I've been able to lock it down. And the good part is that once we lock that property down, with that 35 million or 70 million, once all the paperwork, everything is settled, you own the property. The key of that property will be given to you. You cannot be using that property as well for short lets or for rental income. And that rental income you are using to pay back the mortgage. And you can even pay your mortgage back before the agreement you have with the financial institution that we have introduced to you for the mortgage. And like I said, this mortgage doesn't have to do with, I'm not in Nigeria. So even Nigerians in diaspora can get this mortgage and own their house. You can even end up owning about 3-4 houses within a space of less than 5 years by using this method of ensuring that you get the property, you put it on a rental income. Every year, maybe you're earning annually about 15 million naira or 30 million naira from that property. Guess what? You're using that money back to pay back your mortgage. That way, you're not even dipping into your own personal purse to pay the mortgage back. So it's a win-win thing. So depending on the budget you have, Nigerians in the diaspora that are listening right now, including Nigerians who are here right now, I'm in Nigeria as well. So it will determine the location you can buy property in Nigeria. Okay, this is very, very important. You can't just buy property anywhere because you have 70 million naira as a budget and you want to live in Banana Island. You want to live in the heart of Lagos where things are happening, where the big boys are, where the big men are, so that you can network. No, it doesn't work that way. Better still, if you know you cannot do what I have said, go and rent. Go and rent if you really want to be where the big boys are.
Talking about budget, okay. Mrs. BC, since morning. So I just want you to just highlight the importance of budget. I mean, even as low as a week, for example, Many people just want to buy a wig, but they don't have a budget at hand. So many people want to buy property, and prices of properties are relative, right? So what's your advice on the importance of having a budget whilst purchasing a property?
Yes, your budget is very key when you want to buy a property and when you want to invest in anything. And this is the mistake a lot of people make. They want to buy a property, but they don't have a budget in mind. And that's why when you come to us and tell us that you want to buy a property in a particular location, the first thing we ask you, what is your budget?
What's your budget?
Some people will sometimes perceive this as being rude,
Yeah.
but it's not rude. The reason is because we can send you a property in that location and it doesn't work within your budget. And you're like, and the first thing they'll tell you, people like that, their budget is not the issue. And by the time you now give them a property in Ikoyi for 900 million, hey, where will I see 900 million? But you told me budget is not the issue. So it also helps me to really, really manage your expectations. So your budget, if I'm your financial advisor, for instance, for investment or for property, I want to know, okay, you want a 3-bedroom, you want a 4-bedroom. What budget do you have in mind? Now, if you tell me that your budget is 50 million and the kind of location you have in mind, then I will tell you that that amount will not work. And also, for people who actually want to buy property, you need to do your research as well. How much is property selling in this particular location? Before you come and tell people that you want to buy a property for 50 million naira and in Ikoyi, for instance, it won't work. So making your own research will also help you have a mindset of how much property in this location costs. And that way, it will help you prepare your budget better. Oh, can I afford this particular property? Or should I wait 2 more years to be able to afford it? Or should I just go outrightly for mortgage? And even if you are going for mortgage, ensure you can meet up with paying your mortgage. This is very, very important. So if you know that what you are earning right now cannot pay up your mortgage for you, and you are not ready to leave the house or rental income, because some people tell you that, oh, they rather prefer to move into the house, they want to live in the house, they don't want to leave it for rental income, then be sure that whatever business you are doing or whatever amount you are earning at the moment can pay up your mortgage. This is very important. This is really, really key, because if you don't actually finalize this before you pick up a financial investment plan, it now becomes issues for you in future. So please ensure you engage maybe a financial advisor who can advise you and tell you about these little things and talk about it. Some people will say, oh, I don't want to spend money. But if you don't want to spend money, then be ready to do the mental work yourself to ensure that you have planned yourself very well, so that you don't start and it now becomes a problem when you want to finish. So ensure you have trashed, whether you're in Nigeria or Nigeria in diaspora, you have trashed the issue of budgets before you go into thinking of investing in any property.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. BC. So I would like to ask this as regards economy, right? So do you think investing in properties can help in devaluing Naira or help with inflation?
Okay, that question. Investing in property can help either with inflation. I won't really say it will help to devalue Naira. No, not at all. Because a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, I tell them the best time to invest in Nigeria is now. Because whether you like it or not, our money will still go back to $1 to 300 naira or 200 naira. God will make it happen. So the best time, it will help to devalue Naira, never. And it won't even cause inflation. See, real estate is not the one causing inflation or devaluing our Naira currently. But rather, one of the things you need to understand, I tell people, is that when you see, somebody was saying something. Okay, I was speaking to a queen. I was speaking to an Olori just a couple of days ago, and I'm from Ilefe, and when she said that thing, and it clicked, and she said something about meeting some white guys on our way back from Nigeria, I think maybe from Germany or one country, and they just go into talking, and she said, and the guy said, Nigerians are living money on the streets of Lagos, and we are always here to get the money. They are always there's a lot of money on the something like that. But I remember she saying that we keep leaving money on the streets of not streets of Lagos, sorry, on the streets of Nigeria. There's so much money on the streets of Nigeria that we have been blinded not to see it. There's so much, and the reason why we are always saying there's always money on the streets of Lagos is that if you see any country has that potential or their GDP is growing, guess what? Forget all the things that they are shouting on social media. There is always room for such a country's financial portfolio to grow. So you might be shouting that so many things is happening in the country, but this country, whether you like it or not, you still see financial reports. And they also they borrow, they did this, but you still see so many people who will make so much money out of this country. So if a country is growing, you should know that that country is a place to invest. And when there are challenges, when there are problems, such a country is where you should invest more. Because in a couple of years, Nigeria is said to be one of the, I think that's a forecast for 2075. I'll be old by then. We'll all live long to see it. Amen. That Nigeria will be one of the top best 5 economy in the world. You can imagine. But guess what? What are we seeing now? We are seeing challenges. We are seeing a lot of issues happening here and there. But so many people are not seeing the challenges. Rather, they are seeing money. Because when there's problem, there is money. So real estate is even increasing the value and the economic growth of this country. So if I'm a Nigerian diaspora, rather than keeping my dollar and say, okay, dollar is 1.16, oh, it will increase to 2,000. See, that bubble has been burst. It's going to come down, whether they like it or not. So rather than still say, hey, I'm still waiting for dollar to be 1,006 again. Now that it is not 1,006, before it falls back to 300, like I just said, the best thing is to pack your dollar and begin to invest. Because the dollar you did not invest, guess what? It will depreciate in value tomorrow. Yes. So it's no longer 1,600. It's no longer 1,700 like some people have done that exchange a couple of years ago. Very soon you hear dollar has fallen again to 700. Before you know 500. Before you know 400. One day you just hear 300. One day maybe 200. And it will all be better again. And one of the things I want to just plead with a lot of people who are watching is stop saying negative things about Nigeria. United States of America, they don't worship God as we worship God. Nigerians, we worship God. I remember coming back on a trip, and while I was in that plane, we had a lot of Africans in that plane. In short, I got so pissed that I had to talk to those guys. Our country is bad. Our country is this. You will never hear in America. You hear God bless America. That's what you keep hearing. But what will our fellow Nigerians say? Oh, our country is bad. Oh, this economy is rubbish. It's jaga jaga. In the plane out, like, my God, you are the problem. You people are the problem of this country. Because the more you keep saying bad things, yes, these things are happening. We are not denying that. But the more about more than half of a population is saying negativity about the country, guess what will happen? The country will not become better because these countries, the country's growth or the change we want doesn't begin with our government. It begins with us as an individual. What do we see? Are we seeing challenges? Are we seeing problems? Are we saying God bless Nigeria? Why are we Christians when we keep saying so many evil things about the country? Then our Christianity is a shame. It's even a sham. When the so-called people who do not believe in God as much as we believe in God will keep saying God bless America. So why can't we just adopt the same thing and begin to say God bless Nigeria and Nigeria will be great no matter what is happening? It might take time, but it will definitely happen. It will definitely happen. I'm optimistic. I'm not pessimistic about this. I believe strongly it will happen. No matter what is happening right now, no matter what is going on, it will definitely happen. So real estate right now, buying properties is not devaluing the Naira. There are other factors relating to that. I'm not going to dive into it. That's not the reason why we are doing this live show today. but I can assure you that it helps you to even save your money. A lot of people have diversified into property business as well. Why? Because the money you have saved or you have used to buy one thing or the other that might not make sense to, even your car is depreciating in value, but your property does not depreciate in value, it appreciates. And remember, like I said, it depends on the location you are getting the property. So don't go and get a property in your village. I think it will appreciate by 200%, like or 100%, like some property that I've actually made example of just now. We're selling a property in Banana Island. Some of those properties we're selling them for 950 million. Now it's for 1.5 billion. So 1.5 billion. So imagine if that all the property were sold out last year, it won't have increased this year. So it keep appreciating depending on your location. Okay, Dorcas, over to you.
I said one profound thing I picked from what you said is that investing in real estate as a diaspora is going to help with Nigerians' economic growth and development. So if you are a Nigerian in diaspora, please come and invest in real estate. You can use it for rental income, you could use it for shortlet, you could even build and just resell. So it helps with
Mr. Sosa, I can see your comment. 950 million. It's not for a cow. In short, that 950 million has not bought land in Ikoyi Banana Island. I'm talking about a 5-bedroom terrace duplex plus a office, plus an office. So that is the one that was 950 million. Now 1.5 billion naira, not for a plot of land or 1 acre of land. Okay, please go ahead. I hope everyone is enjoying this live show today.
Tell me whatever you're going to use your property for. All right. So lastly, I'd like to ask Mrs. BC this question. I believe so many of us want to invest in real estate, but we are not sure of which real estate company to, invest in, right? So, Madam BC, what would you advise people? Like, how can you spot a legal real estate company to start with?
Okay, so a lot of people want to invest in real estate and they don't even know who to invest with. That's also a problem so many people are facing, so that they don't get their fingers burnt. So one of the things I would advise Nigerians in diaspora, don't invest just because you want to invest or because your family members have told you to invest. You also want to do your research about that particular organization. How long has that organization been in existence? What is their track record? Google can give you all of this, even without going on their social media. Social media now even is so good. By coming on my social media, you can know who I am. You can know even maybe the food I like to eat based on my social media. Social media, some people have said, has become like witchcraft now, where you can know things about people. So you can know everything about an organization, their track record, their results, by you intentionally doing your research. So don't just listen to what your family members have told you. Okay, you go ahead, make your research. For instance, okay, you see Gtextsuites adverts, you want to ask, okay, who is Gtextsuites? When did they start? Even if Gtextsuites has not started for long, they're a subsidiary of Gtextsuites. So Gtextsuites has been in existence for about 8 years. So that one alone is enough for you to know that, okay, these people have a good track record. They've had customer base. They have offices in Nigeria. They have in Dubai. They have in US. So that's enough to give you good reasons. You've heard testimonials from their clients as well. You know their office. They have a face. You know an office you can actually. It's a company, and you know it's not a one-man business. Okay, so that's also another thing. Not a one-man. These things are very important before we go ahead and pick a company to invest with. So you do your own on the ground research. It's not a must to invest with the company your family member asks you to invest in. You have to ensure that research, you do it, is extremely important. So when you do your research, you are convinced enough, then you go ahead and of course make your payments. I've seen some people sometimes who will say, okay, before we do business with you, we need to come to your office. We need to know your office. I mean, in terms of real estate. And they come to our office and they are wowed that, oh, wow, I never even knew this was what I was expecting. And after the first meeting, guess what? The next day or immediately, they are transferring the money for the property. So make sure you do your findings very well. Then if you have, in terms of buying a property as well, you need to also, please can you mute that or reduce the volume? So in case of buying a property as well, please, you need to also ensure, first and foremost, get the documentation of the property. Nobody will give you the physical copy of the documentation. So you need to go and do your property search. Number one, to be sure that that property is not under any collateral. It's very important, because if the property is under any collateral and you go and make payments for it, you're in trouble. You'll be the one that will pay the collateral damage or the collateral, the loan, or you end up losing your property. So don't just go ahead and buy a property. Even also, our company as well, Gtextsuites, we intentionally tell our clients when they want to. I've seen a couple of times when clients are like, I want to buy the property, sell us account number. No, go and do your property search. Even though we have done ours, but go and do your property search as well, so that you on your own as well, you are 100% sure that that property is not under any, that's the house we are selling, is not under any property, because we deal with the developers, okay? So you also have to, even when you have to do mortgage, with the financial institution we work with, they will tell you to do their property search for you to ensure that that property as well is not under any form of collateral. It's not something much. I think it's less than 50K thereabout. You do your property search, it's not under any form of acquisition, any form of loan or collateral, then you can now go ahead and make the payments. This is very important in buying a property here in Nigeria. But of course, if you want to buy a property, don't forget, you reach out to Gtextsuites. We have properties. Okay, go ahead.
Before we give room for questions, I think we'll just take one question.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Akintayo, thank you so much for tonight. Tonight was quite an insightful and educating night. I believe everyone learned a thing or two. So, what do you have to say about Gtextsuites? What do you have to say about the subsidiary that is Gtextsuites in Gtex Holding?
Okay, Gtextsuites, for us, we have our offices here in Nigeria and in Dubai, and one of the things we basically do is that we are a brokerage firm in a brokerage firm that deals with developers. We deal directly with developers to help you get the property you want. We deal more with eyebrow locations, so you can't come and say, give us a property in Abule Egba, give us a property in some places. We don't deal with everywhere. So we deal with property in eyebrow location that will give you good returns on investment, and that's intentional. So we also sell properties also in Dubai, and one of the things I love about our properties in Dubai is that it can give you a golden visa. Your minimum investment of 1.4 million dirhams, which is about $300,000, can accord you the opportunity to have a golden visa for yourself and your family. Meaning you can come into Dubai anytime. It doesn't matter whether your Nigerian passport or African passport is banned. You can come into Nigeria any day, into Dubai any day, anytime. And the minimum annual returns you get is $30,000 on your investment, if you're even giving it out for rent. And you don't need to pay all the money at once. With your 10%, you can secure the property. But like I said earlier, ensure that, yes, you can secure the property with 10%. You have the current source of income you have can continue to pay for the property for the remaining years, because the properties we sell there are not usually completed properties. They are off-plan properties that will be ready maybe in about 3 years, 4 years. And the reason is because the properties that are already completed cannot afford you to pay your money in bits. You have to pay your money in full. And those properties as well as appreciated beyond the 1.4 million dirhams I'm talking about. So such a property, maybe it has from 1.4 million dirhams, it has appreciated to 2 million dirhams. So maybe over $400,000. So which, of course, some people don't have that money to put down at once. And that's the advantage. So the partners we have over there in Dubai, after your 24% down payment, they begin to process your golden visa for you over there. So if you want to relocate to Dubai, or you just want to have your investments in Dubai as well, you can reach out to Gtextsuites. We do that. Or you have a property in a highbrow location you want to sell, we have to check out the property as well. You can also reach out to us to help you sell your property if you're a developer, but also we have to do our checks to be sure that you're that developer that is trusted and based on your track record. So we'll do all of that anyway. But if you have properties you want to sell, you can reach out to us, and we can also help you sell your property as well. And we also help manage properties, like be a facility manager for your property. So you need a facility manager as well to help you manage your property. We can also do that. We do that as well. So that's basically what we do. And if you also do not have all the money to pay for your property, also we can also help you get a flexible payment plan with our financial institution if you're ready to go the mortgage route. So that's basically what we do. And for those of you watching, whether you have friends, you have loved ones, Nigerian diasporas like Mr. Esosa right now, yes, you can refer your friends as well to come meet us, and we will be ready to ensure that we give them that property choice that they want. So would love that.
All right, so we're going to take this last question, Mrs. Akintayo.
Okay.
I know you answered this question, but then we're going to take it again. So please hold on. Okay. Olu Comforter says, what do you think about areas around Mowe Ibafo with landmarks like RCCG Camp, Deeper Life Bible Church, Christ Embassy?
Okay. Those areas for me are not bad areas. They are not bad areas to invest. I already told you that based on what we do, we focus more on eyebrow location. Now, areas like RCCG, Mowe and the rest, you can't expect their property appreciation to be the same with places like Magodo on the mainland, places like Omole Phase 1. So the property appreciation is totally different. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't invest in those areas, but don't expect the same appreciation